just how powerful is a professional fighter actually, and how does weight and strength play into it, you know, like how much weight could a professional fighter overcome. Questions like that are asked many times, and they're very difficult to answer because we do not have much of an objective measure of fighting strength other than this guy actually beat the other guy A beat person B in a fight, so we can assume that person A is stronger, but we do not get any measurement out of it. Okay, so that's very difficult. But the power level difference between your average Joe and a professional fighter is so difficult to understand, and I thought up a little comparison that I can bring you to make you understand, and then based on that comparison I will explain power level difference from fighters. Okay, so I know a guy, he's training with me, he's a blue belt, he's fairly strong, he's a bit taller than me, like 1.85 m, something like 6'2" about, 200 pounds, and he's quite strong, and so he can lift above his head from the floor, okay, about 50 kilograms, which is about 110-ish pounds, okay? So I assume that is how much a fairly strong, a bit above average, tall and big man can lift, okay? And I know that I have a 28 kilogram, 60 pound kettlebell here, and most men that come to my training cannot lift that kettlebell above their head, especially not one-handed, okay? So between like 30 to 50 kilograms is what a normal person can lift above their head. Pound is about 2.2 times that much, okay? So now let's check out the difference, okay? So if there's a very small man, like 60 kilograms, 130, 135 pounds, okay, small, short and small man, they can lift maybe 25, 30 kilograms above their head, okay? Big man, maybe 50 kilogram, very big man, okay, maybe 60, 70 kilogram. We're talking about mostly untrained men, okay? So imagine a huge man, he would be able to put my own body weight, like 80 kilograms above his head, okay? That would be huge. How big would an untrained man have to be to actually pick up another man full weight, that weight from the floor, and bring him all the way above his head, okay? That's beyond what almost anybody untrained could do. Can you imagine how strong somebody would have to be to lift that kind of weight, not to here, all the way above his head, okay? So the difference is not that much, okay? Like they are not 10 times stronger, okay? A huge and incredibly strong untrained man is maybe twice or 3 times as strong as a very small untrained man, okay? And being objectively, in absolute terms, twice as strong as somebody else is an incredible power difference, okay? Incredible. Like the small man could use both of his arms and wouldn't be able to move one arm of the bigger, stronger man. That's a almost unfathomable amount of strength level difference, okay? So it's gigantic. And so now let's talk about professional lifters, okay? So one of the strongest men ever, okay? This Lasha guy, I hope I pronounced it correctly, like Georgian guy, huge giant, okay? Almost like 170 kilograms, like that's 370 pounds heavy, okay? Huge muscles, tall, like wow, almost 6'6", big frame. The frame is bigger than the phone, okay? Bam! And he's pure muscle, and his tiny muscular belly around, and so how much can he lift? It's an insane amount. 265, almost 270 kilograms above his head. That's like 600 pounds that he can pick up from the floor, and not deadlift, like from down here, like pa-boom until here, and then wha-bam, explode all the way up, 270 kilograms, almost 600 pounds, an insane amount of weight. That's how much stronger that professional athlete is than an untrained man of his own size. So he's about between 3 and 4 times as strong objectively than, and absolutely, in absolute terms, than another man of about the same size. So that is an absolute insane strength difference, okay? Beyond what is imaginable of how strong such a man would feel to an untrained person. And now for comparison, my favorite lifter ever, Naim Suleimanoglu, nicknamed the Pocket Hercules, and he's like 5 feet tall, okay, and he's weighing in at a staggering 120 pounds, so like 55 kilograms, small man. Now just imagine for a second, like that small man, how much will he be able to put above his head? Okay, the other guy is like 3 times as heavy. How much? I'm gonna tell you, it's 200 kilograms. 200 kilograms, 440 pounds. That's just insane, right? It's almost 4 times his body weight, and it's an insane strength compared even to other professional lifters of much heavier weight, but especially that's twice as much as the huge untrained man. That's incredible. So that small little man, because he's heavily trained and has the genetics and everything for it, is so much stronger. The strength level difference between the tiny Pocket Hercules and the untrained giant is greater than the strength level difference between the untrained giant and the untrained small man. Okay, just think about it. Okay, like 30 kilograms, 80 kilograms, 200 kilograms. Wow, that's absolutely insane. Okay, that's absolutely insane. And you have to think about those kinds of differences in power when thinking about an untrained person fighting a trained person, or even a professional fighter. Okay, let's not go too much into the mentality aspect of it, but just that a trained person can be with one arm as strong as an untrained person with both arms. Okay, now if a person would have sufficient training level in martial arts, they would be a lot stronger than you'd expect them to be. Okay, like I'm probably a lot stronger than I look on video. Okay, surprisingly strong. And that's much more true for a professional weightlifter, of course, as strength is their main asset. But if you're technically very good, you will be able to be in a situation technically where you can use both of your arms against one arm of the other guy in a lot of situations. That's many times what I will be able to do if somebody is not trained. Or even use the strength of your legs against the strength of their arms. So if you think about a big, strong, muscular man fighting a trained professional fighter, think about the power level difference between a trained man and an untrained man. Realize that probably the highly trained individual is a lot stronger physically than he might look to the untrained eye, and that he is in a technical superiority far beyond what an untrained person could ever imagine in difference, fighting power difference between two men. It sometimes feels, and please forgive me, like an adult with a child. If you're fighting an untrained person, however much they struggle, however much they do, they will never know how to actually behave in a fight, and the level difference is just way too much. It's just way too much. It's like if you're just playing basketball as an untrained person against like Michael Jordan, even if you're a lot taller than him, you will not win. Even if you're taller than Usain Bolt, you will not outrun him with your longer legs. Even if you are bigger than Naim Sulaimanoglu, you will not outlift him ever unless you are a highly trained individual. No matter what your base IQ is, you will not outsmart somebody who is educated and trained in those kinds of things. And so on and so on. So I will make myself more thoughts about that topic, but I really like that explanation with lifting power. So to imagine and visualize with numbers, as I love numbers, the power difference between an untrained individual and a highly trained individual, as it might be surprisingly big. Hope you like that, and any comment, any feedback is appreciated, and see you next time.